Oh, got a fish. Oh no, it broke off. Oh, got one right here. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. Get up out of there.
Now, that's a football right there. It didn't take us long to catch 5 fish.
Are you listening?
All right, you all, welcome to Real Journey. I'm in the RAV today, so not driving the little Prius, but we have a couple baits from Bass Pro Shops. This one's $7, and this is the original steel shad. I haven't used this particular blade bait before. This actually, they have a bigger one than this, but this is the biggest blade bait I own. The last video I filmed with that RAV V, I believe it's called, the Rapala, and it's like a combination of a lipless crankbait and a blade bait. That was a lot of fun to throw. If I catch fish on both of these, I might even go back to that because that's a nice bait. But we're gonna try this out though, and it's in a gold color. Here's the thing, we're in Florida, it's winter, it's cold, it's been really cold a little bit lately. It's not too bad today. It's gonna be almost 70 degrees, and it might hit 70 degrees at one point. But it's been pretty cold, so I bet a lot of the vegetation has died off. And we're gonna try to throw these around, and gold works great down here in Florida because we have golden shiners. Actually, if you want to catch the biggest fish of your life, you got to go to one of these big lake factories down here in Florida and throw some live golden shiners, and you'll catch a monster. So that's what we're kind of imitating here today. We have that blade bait, that's a gold color, and then we have the cotton cordell, and we have it in gold color. Now this is probably like the best cheap like lipless crankbait out there. It's been a while since I've used one of these, but they are really cheap and really good. Like, it's probably the best cheap lipless crankbait. It was $4.50 at Bass Pro. That seemed a little high. I think it's only like $3, maybe $3.50 at Walmart. So that total was like what, $12? So $13. So $13 Bass Pro fishing challenge. And yeah, I was looking for something that was like $3 because, you know, I found that $7 blade bait, and then I was like, you know, if I find something that's $3, I can make a $10 Bass Pro fishing video. But I didn't really see anything I wanted to fish with in like the cold water. And even that lipless, we might not even catch anything on the lipless, but because it has that gold color, it's gonna come in clutch at some point with me fishing down here in Florida. But we're gonna try and catch some fish on both of those today. Enough of this talking stuff, let's get out here and fish. And I just want to say, if you're not subscribed, please smash that subscribe button. All right, let's get into this video and catch some fish. All right. All right, so here we have a much bigger pond, and there is some bigger fish in here. So right now there's just a patch of grass, isolated grass out here in the middle. Just running my bait around it. So this corner over here is usually pretty good, in that corner over there. Probably my high percentage spots where I catch fish in here.
Oh, got a fish. Oh, it's a good one. Oh. Got him stuck on something, but that's a fish. Oh no, it broke off.
Dang. First bite was a good one. Well, I got the cotton cordell lipless in my pocket. I guess I'm fishing with that now. Yeah, that had to have been a fish because I was running it about 5 feet out from this grass, and then it was in the grass, and I couldn't get him up out of there. All right, got this puppy tied on. Get the feel of this. Been a while since I used the cotton cordell.
Oh, that's a fish. Oh, he's stuck in that grass. Man, these fish keep getting me stuck in grass. He's not even that big. I could barely get him out. Oh my goodness. He is an icicle. Dude, this is down his mouth. He ate that pretty good. Sometimes these bass will eat the bait front first. I've seen people say that they always eat it front first, but that's not true, by the way. If anyone's watching this that thinks that, I mean, I've seen bass feed, you know, with cameras underwater, and they don't always eat front first, but they try to. They do try to. All right, buddy. Free Willy. Like a dolphin. Right near the edge of this grass. Come on, fishy. Oh, got one. That's a good one. Oh, I lost him. Oh, man. Unbelievable. I didn't want to pull it out of his mouth, so I didn't like set the hook hard. I just reeled into him good. But he was a good size one because I was pulling him pretty good, and my rod didn't come back, you know what I mean? Dang. All right, I'm going to walk back. Oh, that's a fish. Got one. Oh, he got me in the grass. Man, these suckers are good at getting in the grass. That one's a little bigger than the last one. All right. Slightly bigger. These are some cold fish, though. I threw it around that isolated grass. That isolated grass is what I threw around when I first got here. And just passing it by, tossed around it again. This time there was a fish there. All right. Actually, now that I think about it, I was tossing around that grass with the blade bait last time, so maybe it didn't want the blade bait, but it wanted the lipless. All right, so we're gonna fish this corner over here. To be honest, I didn't expect to have 2 fish caught in this pond, because usually I only catch like 1 in here. At least lately, it's been kind of tough fishing lately. I'm gonna make a cast from this corner. So I can cast parallel to this grass bank right here. Oh, got one right here. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. Get up out of there. Dude, that's a good bass. Came off. Oh, dang, he freaking nailed that. Woo! All right, got ourselves a bucket mouth. That's a football right there. That's a good bass. Nice. We're not gonna put it on scale, but that's a good 5-pounder. Sucker's solid. He's got shoulders. Yeah, it's a nice sized bass. So we're gonna release this puppy over here where we can actually walk up to the water. I thought I was gonna lose him in that grass, man. These fish are going for that grass. They're pretty smart. Woo! All right. Hey, man, I haven't caught too many big ones in this water, like this really cold water lately. I haven't been fishing as much. I was fishing like crazy through October and the beginning of December, and then I've slowed down. Haven't been fishing too much, but whew, that's a good one. That was a good bass, you know. You don't catch those every day, so that was nice. He must have came, he was like thick in this grass right here. So underneath this grass is water. The water comes all the way up to here, you know. So he was like deep in this grass and came out. And I think he did because of this bait. Where is my bait? Oh, it's up in a tree. So I think this is the reason why right here. When this is wiggling, it is giving off crazy gold flash in the water, you know. If we get the sun on it. It's not really doing it right now, of course. But all right. Whew. That was a good one. So we're gonna walk this edge a little bit, make a couple more casts. Hopefully we catch another one of those, right? If not, no big deal. So far, caught 3 bass. We've had a few more bites too. Lost our bait, but hey, we're about to try and get on them and catch a bunch more. And then we have this other pond right behind me, and I've caught a lot of bass out of there. I actually caught 2 bass on one lipless crankbait in that pond. So this has some big ones that has some numbers, and I did catch one decent one in there once, so there probably is some big ones in there. And yeah, but there's usually bigger ones in here, as you can see. So we're gonna walk this edge, see if we can catch another one. Man, all right, enough of me talking. All right, so we have a plane going by, of course. We got noise, but I'm trying to explain what I'm doing right now. So I went to that corner. So this is a corner, right? And right there's the corner. And I was standing over there, casting that way, trying to be parallel to this grass. And best case scenario, a big one comes up out of this grass, because it's warmer up in this grass. Now, there's no vegetation like in the water right now. Everything died off, you know, and there is a deep, I'm pretty sure there's a deep spot out there, because there's a lot of fish in here and it's hard to catch them in here. And I think that there's a deep spot that you can't even cast to out there. So maybe one day I'll bring a canoe or a kayak out here and see for myself, throw a jig around and see how deep it really is. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're in that corner right there and you cast parallel to this bank, so just outside of that grass, you know, you can catch a fish just like that. And so what I'm gonna do now is walk to this corner and cast and be parallel right over there. So I'm just running my bait just outside the grass. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is where I've been catching the fish, you know. All my bites have been around the grass. The little bit of grass that's in here is where I've been catching the fish. When you're fishing with a bait like this as treble hooks, granted, lipless crankbaits probably come out of grass better than any like crankbait. A square bill gets stuck in grass more so than a lipless. But when you do get stuck in some grass, you got to pop it out. So if you're using a little bit of a stiffer rod like I am, you can pop it out of there. And yeah, and some people do this, they pop it out that way. I usually just yank it out real quick. But yeah, you know, you want to make good casts, because if I make a cast, I'm trying to be parallel to this bank, and I cast and I land in the grass, I might lose my bait. So you got to make good casts. Now see, that cast, I made it pretty far out from the bank. Now why did I do that? Because what I'm doing is, this is what I'll usually do when I come up to a bank if I'm not sure. Sometimes that, oh, there's a fish. There's a fish right there. Got one. Got up out of there. Came off. All right. So that's a perfect example of what I'm trying to show you. All right, so he's back in there. Definitely wasn't as big as that last one. That was a 1 pounder, not a 5 pounder. But so what you want to do is you want to cast off the bank, right? You don't want to cast too close and get it stuck and lose your bait, for one. But you want to cast off the bank and bring it this way, right? And you're doing that for a few reasons. So if you've heard of fan casting, you cast here, you know, then you cast there, then you cast there, then you cast there. So you kind of work an area of water and you find out where those fish are. So that's what we're doing right now. We're casting out there, but it's a small fan. You know, we're not casting there. We're just casting there, then there, then there, you know? So what we're doing is we're casting out and seeing if there's a fish that far out. And then we'll move in a little closer and a little closer. So a few reasons why we do that. We're covering water from there to there. Okay, the second reason is, the reason we start there then go this way, is we're finding out if grass is up under that. You know, because if there is a bunch of grass just under the water and we can't see it, then, you know, we find out, well, don't cast close to it. You're going to get stuck and maybe lose your bait. But the third reason that we're casting like that, get used to casting. So, you know, if you try to make your first cast, right? And so we have some wind right now. This is a perfect example. So we have some wind right now. And I come over here and I make my first cast. Okay, I actually made it where I wanted it to go. But let's pretend that that wind pushes me over to the left, because the wind is going that way. Or maybe you just make a bad cast. You know, it happens. So if you start away from it and you make a bad cast, you might land right there and you're still okay. But if you start there, you know, and then go there and then go there, you're doing 3 things. 1, you're making sure you don't make a bad cast into that. 2, you're covering the water. And 3, you're seeing if there's any grass like that underneath the water. So I know I took a little while to kind of explain that, but that's the 3 reasons why I cast a little away from the bank and then work my way closer. So try to give you some tips. And then right here, so I'm working my way down the bank this way, but if I turn around, I can now fish parallel right here. And I didn't. Now I was in that other corner fishing parallel, but it's not the same. You know, running to this corner is different than running your bait to that corner. You know, there could be a fish. There's one right there, right here in this corner is what I was saying. And that's a pretty good one. That's better than that last one we just caught. All right, so that's not a bad one. Not bad at all. He's so cold. Throw him out there, though. Gotta launch him to get him back in the water with all this grass here. But that's why I turn around and fish this bank here. So I was in that corner, I was casting over to here and dragging it back that way, and I caught that big one in that corner over there. But I'm walking that way and I stop, and now I'm casting to be parallel to this because there might be one right here in this corner. Sure enough, there was. So this started off as a video, a $13 Bass Pro video, and turned into, you know, a gold lipless video, how to fish it strategy. And I'll say this, you know, lipless came back pretty close to me. I'll say this, you know, I'm not a pro fisherman, obviously. I mean, well, maybe not obvious to some of you. There's a big difference between someone that's, you know, a good bit better than the average angler and pro. You know, pros are really good, okay? But one thing I do well, like say Kicking Their Bass TV, okay? That guy can make every cast in the world. He can do all kinds of stuff, you know, and I can't hang with someone like that when it comes to, you know, skipping baits and all that kind of stuff. But one thing I do well is strategy, you know, and making the right decisions on the water. You know, I'm not saying he doesn't. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying that if you kind of implement or, you know, start to use some strategy when you're fishing, you know, you'd be surprised how much more fish you catch. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was the $13 Bass Pro Fishing Challenge video. It was the Cotton Cordell Gold Lipless Crankbait video. I tried to add in some tips on how to fish it, strategy. That's one thing that's really overlooked in fishing is strategy. You know, people always talk about this bait, this color, and then that's it, how to fish it, you know, but they don't talk about strategy, you know, how you approach the body of water and then what you do from there. Not too often anyways. And so I tried to put a little bit of that in this video. I think that's actually what I do best, you know, figuring out what the bass are doing, what they'll eat, and then fishing the best way to catch the most fish. Because I mean, you could see once I figured out what those fish were really doing, which is what fishing is, you got to figure them out and make adjustments. Once I figured out what those fish were doing, you know, I was catching them back to back to back. We weren't able to catch them good in here though. I came over to this next pond and I had that one dink I flung up out of the water, had a couple more bites, but wasn't really able to catch them in here. But it's different in here. The water's a lot clearer and probably would need to switch up the color in here. But that's going to be it for today on Real Journey. If you're not subscribed, please smash that subscribe button. If you like the video, of course, please hit the like button. And that's going to be it for today on Real Journey. We're out. Now is it real?